Coach Greg in today's video, the very cutesy, very mindful, very demure Togi versus Cabo. And so Togi just released a 2-hour movie. I've already watched the video and I'm going to rewatch it and react to it. In this video, he's going to talk about how he's going to quit gambling, how he's going to lock in, how his goal is now to become an IFBB pro. How do you think that's going to go down? I just raw dogged this video, 2 hours, no alcohol, no gambling, no nicotine, no break. That's very impressive. I watched it at 2 times speed, having 2 bags of popcorn, blueberries, strawberries, and some sugar-free chocolate donuts. This is just a 4-hour Greg Doucette video waiting to happen. And so I'm going to do my best to record this in under 4 hours. Are you ready?
In the last week, we're up $100,000. Why do you think that is?
Well, the reason that is because we're forgetting about all the times we lost money. If all we do is show the times that we win and fail to show the times that we lose, it's going to look like gambling is going to make us a lot of money.
I think we've finally cracked the gambling code, the good karma strategy. People are sleeping on doing good deeds narcissistically.
Newsflash, there's no such thing as good karma. You can't just give people money and expect to win more yourself. If that were the case, there are millions of people out there who are donating, doing great deeds, coaching children, teachers, and so on, who have done great things for the world, that they would be reaping the benefits. But yet, there are people out there who do nothing but great things. They're adopting animals, they're donating money to charity, they're feeding the homeless, but yet they get cancer and they die. Yeah, it's very morbid, but it's true.
But that being said, we're up $100,000 in the last week, and that means it's my sign to stop.
Well, technically he's behind, but he decided it's time to stop. It's time to pull the plug on the gambling, the sniffing creatine, the losing money. He's trying to lock in, to go for his IFBB Pro card. And I mean, I love to hear this. Being the father, perhaps the godfather, perhaps at this point the granddad of the fitness industry, I love to hear it. And so I personally am cheering for him.
You know, I've been getting a lot of comments also like, why are you so small now? The only thing that's grown is your nips. I used to look like this.
I'm looking at his old photo and I have to say that I'm impressed. Despite the fact that he was on a gram of gear, perhaps even a little bit more, that is a very impressive physique. And if he said, hey, I'm going for my IFBB Pro card, I'm thinking he has a chance. I mean, look at this guy. He's only been training on gear at that point for perhaps 6 months. The guy is 6'2", good-looking guy, small waist, wide shoulders. And so why couldn't he get a pro card? I mean, after all, he got his dream physique in 6 months. And so if his dream physique is now that of an IFBB pro, then why couldn't he do it?
I was taking 1 gram of gear max, and now I'm taking over 2.5 grams of steroids and I look worse.
And so considering that he was taking a gram of gear max to look like the guy on the left, and that he's taken 2.5 grams of gear now, it's not good. He clearly used to be locked in. He was dialed in. He put in the work. But since that time, he's just partying, not training seriously. And so despite the fact that he perhaps doubled or tripled the doses, he's gotten a worse physique. If you want to develop a great physique, it takes more than just gear. You have to work out harder than last time.
Old Togi is back. Chicken and rice, oatmeal, working out 7 days a week. No life, no bitches, no friends, big muscles.
Does this not sound like the song 6'5", Blue Eyes, Finance, Trust Fund?
I'm looking for a man in finance with trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
But in this case, it's 6'2", black hair, no fun, no bitches, and no life. What's the point of that? Can't we have balance? Why can't we be like Coach Greg? 5'6", black tank, Turk builder, cookbook.
And we're starting off our dialing in by going to the Young LA event. We're trying to get jacked, we're trying to get shredded again. I think I'm going to do a bodybuilding show.
I think we're not going to see it. I think he's partied too hard. He's had too many bitches, probably getting close to double digits at this point. I don't think he's man enough to do it. I think he gets all his dopamine from gambling, and that he's not going to be able to lock in to a hardcore diet. I mean, maybe if Coach Greg were coaching him, if he had my cookbook and could eat the variety of delicious meals, maybe then. But on a typical diet, like if he had a guy like Coach Kyle trying to dial him in, no way could Togi follow a diet that strict.
Drove the plaid for the first time. How exciting was that? It was terrifying.
No. Go.
Oh!
No way would I let Togi drive my McLaren. And so, James English, I don't know what got into you, but that's a dangerous car. It's way too fast for Togi.
Wake up! Wake up!
This is the aftermath of partying harder than last time. He clearly drank too much, beber too much alcohol, and this is the result. This is not early morning. This is the afternoon. And remember, he just stated he's locked in. He's going for his IFBB Pro card.
It's 209.
Daily bonus. Those people are not nearly as locked in as I imagined.
And so he wakes up at 2:09, immediately starts gambling.
One day off can't hurt, even when you're trying to be a professional bodybuilder. One day off is not the end of the world.
And so here's the thing. The day off should occur once you've earned it. This was supposed to be day one. You're not supposed to take a day off before your workday even starts.
Realistically, would you have trained today if we weren't doing this?
Fuck no, dude.
You'd have been in bed?
I honestly only train for videos at this point in my life.
And so I've already reacted to these videos. I mean, do I watch so much Togi that I've already seen his life's work?
I mean, it was steroids at first, then it was gambling. What's your next move?
IFBB Pro.
Being an IFBB Pro, it takes a lot of work. It took me until the age of 35 and 50 competitions before I earned my Pro card. But Togi, well, he's going for his Pro card right now. And on day one, well, he done in Turk. He woke up at 2:09 and he's already late for a podcast. How do you think this is going to end?
How many?
60.
60.
60 children.
Yeah. Give me a real number.
60, bro.
No, you
I'm already
don't.
trying.
And so to all the ladies out there, little warning for you. When you pick the father of your child, pick one that's maybe going to be there for him or her. Is this who you would want to be the role model, the one to guide your child into the future? Togi, if all you care about is having kids and you're not going to be present for any of them, just go to a sperm donating clinic. Go to a sperm bank. Donate sperm. You'll have kids somewhere throughout the world. You're not going to be present. You don't know who they are, but you will have children. Don't ruin it for all the single moms out there. Jesse James, he's already engaged. He doesn't want the single moms. And so, Togi, you need to wear a condom.
If I got a call right now on this podcast and somebody's like, yo, I'm your son. It's so sick, dude. Let's go hang out.
Togi's 22. If he had a son, I'm assuming this kid would be maybe 5 years of age, perhaps even younger. You can't just go and hang out with your child in Cabo while being drunk and doing drugs. It doesn't work like that.
Because nobody loves finance. Every dude's like, yeah, like, I like finance. It's like, no, you don't.
Did he just say no one loves finance? 6'5", blue eyes, finance, trust fund.
I'm looking for a man in finance with trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
Chicks dig a dude in finance. And why do you think men like being in finance? Because the chicks, they like it. Guys will do anything to get a girl. Half the shit that men do on this planet, all it is to get a girl. If there were no girls on this earth, half the men out there, they wouldn't even shower. Half of them wouldn't be going to the gym, showering, buying fancy cars, or even going to work. The woman has to see the man as being on a pedestal, being above them, better than them. If they're equal or heaven forbid below them, the girl's going to think, I'm doing this guy a favor. The girl wants a man to make more money than them, be taller than them, smarter than them, perhaps everything.
I think the safest route to success is practicing something that you enjoy, getting good at it, and developing a skill that's unique to you.
And so, Togi, what are you doing? Guaranteed to be good at gambling because you practice all the time and you're going to make money from it? No, it doesn't work like that. You can get as good as gambling as you want, but when you bet on Plinko balls, you're always going to lose.
Oh my! Oh my God, bro, this is...
Yeah, cold plunging isn't for me either. But here's the thing. If you can cold plunge, my opinion, you can do anything. You just have to use whatever mindset got you to sit in that cold tub and channel that energy elsewhere. Rather than wasting your time, wasting all your energy sitting in a cold plunge, use that energy to, for example, put the fork down, to stop gambling, to wake up on time, to eat healthy, to go to the gym. And so that's what I do. I don't cold plunge. To me, I'm just too big a pussy. I can't do it. I'm not man enough for it. But what do I do instead? I race bikes, I train hard, I do videos, I work. I do everything else harder and better than last time. And so maybe less cold plunging and harness that energy for other endeavors that are going to actually benefit your life. You don't need to cold plunge, but what you do need to do is stop gambling. Stop getting drunk all the time, stop sniffing creatine, and perhaps wake up on time once in a while.
Really lock it in for a little bit. So it's like one good last hurrah, like a send off to my protein jail.
And so he's trying to get it out of his system. It's kind of like the Trend twins. Oh, I'll just eat a dozen crumble cookies and then we won't cheat the rest of the diet. How does that work out for people? You can't get it out of your system. One less send off. Let's just gamble one more time, then we'll never do it again. That's what was said by every person who's ever had a New Year's resolution. And then by Monday, it's over.
Protein jail for the next minimum 8 weeks. It's no booze. It's no gambling.
Why are you losing the bitches? What did that have to do with anything? Do people really think you can't have women? You're on a diet, no longer can you be with a girl. This is moronic. It's all about balance. You can be with a girl, but you go to bed on time. And you can gamble, just don't go in excess. But no, I'm Togi. It's all or nothing.
So you see a pancake here, you're probably a little suspicious of that. No, it's actually nothing but protein, my friends. How about that?
And his pancake is nothing but protein. Is he perhaps dabbling in Coach Greg's cookbook? You all know there's pancake, French toast recipes. There's recipes for everything. Interested in the cookbook, code Greg, 15% off.
Vitamin D3, CoQ10, biotin, DIM supplement, zinc, immune support, because if you're sick, you can't stay dialed in.
And then Togi then goes on a spiel of about 20 different supplements, none of which were GO2 Max and or Turk Builder. I mean, Togi, what's wrong with you? Do you know how simple this is? Did you not watch my video? I said, if you want supplements, we'll send them to you. You just got to send me a DM and ask. We're doing you a solid. After all, you're living rent-free in my head. And if you want to learn how to talk to the ladies, I'm also a life coach. I help people communicate, talk to girls. I'll teach you the ways of Coach Greg. Many people saying I'm flexing. No way could Coach Greg get girls. Are you kidding me? Coach Greg is a real ladies' man. You didn't even know it. And I'm a 5'6" manlet, and so clearly I have the gift of gab. I know how to rizz up the girls harder than last time.
Oh my God.
Togi, the throat goats, they pre-gag all the time. It's okay. Gets up the saliva. But you don't spit out the pills before you even put them in your mouth. What's wrong with you?
40 grams of protein. Check it out.
Shane.
I thought it would be a cooler thing.
Bro, what are you doing? You're not siphoning for gold. It's freaking oatmeal.
Take a picture of me.
And so the photo girl, I'm told, needs work. Mepstagram says made him look short. There was the wrong angle. Togi, you're going to have to hire a new camera girl. And she said, is this even his girlfriend? Is this one of his bitches? Because she's not doing a good job. My bitches, they work harder than last time. They work overtime. And so Mepstagram, she would have done far better, Togi. And so, Togi, you're 22 years of age. You said if you'd ever wake up looking as bad as me, that you wouldn't be able to handle it. Togi, let's compare bitches. My bitches against yours. Who wins, Togi? Exhibit A, Mepstagram. She looks better than all your girls in one. And so don't get me started on what me and Mepstagram have been doing. Don't even get me started. You have no idea.
Togi!
What?
What up, dude? What are you I haven't told you yet? I got a job here, bro.
Dude, we have fucking rent to pay.
I know. We're good.
And so Togi then walks in, essentially tries to convince his roommate to quit his job because he's only making $20-something an hour, which is certainly not enough to cover half the rent. They're renting some place for $10,000 a month. I don't know where they're staying, but it's only $13,000 a month for me to live at my mansion. And so if you're renting for $10,000, I got another house for rent for you. Bro, I'll rent it to you for half price, $5,000. Togi, you guys are getting ripped off. Why are you paying $10,000 in rent to live in what looks like shit? Your house, it sucks. I gotta break it to you. For $10,000, really? Now, if it was $10,000 a year, great deal. I like what you're doing. But you're spending $10,000 a month to live in that? Really?
Why? I like it here. You know, it's cool.
No, it's not. What do you mean?
I got a
it's cool here?
job. I'm being a good member of society.
Let your freaking roommate work for once. Let him get a real job. He's trying to be a productive member of society, unlike you.
Yeah, check me in.
No, touching the fridge.
Togi, you can't just walk in and rule the world. There are rules. And yeah, I get it. Bitches love when guys are rule breakers, but they don't like it when you're actually in jail.
Dialed again, day, technically 1 actually. And we're gonna start it off with something difficult, leg day.
Officially now the actual start of his prep for his IFBB Pro Card, day 1, leg day. Of course, on leg day, we're now hitting triceps. And of course, we're hitting back while removing our shirts at the gym. And of course, don't forget the biceps. And so Togi, you're allowed to do full body workouts. It's how I train. And I know I have a horrendously awful physique that if you ever look like me, that you'd never be able to live with it. But remember, the baddies, for example, Mepsigram, they love it. She's literally creaming herself, gushing everywhere, Togi. Can you believe it? And so you can train your full body perhaps 3 days a week, do cardio on the other days, and you too can develop an impressive physique. Now remember, try doing it while lowering your HRT dose to 140 milligrams like Coach Greg, and let's see who has the better physique.
We are feeling pretty
Turk!
flat, I'm not gonna lie. We're fully off cycle now. I mean, we're still taking, gram of testosterone.
And of course, the posing at the end of the workout where everyone says you're feeling flat. That's because you're not on enough steroids. Only 1,000 milligrams. That's practically natural. How could you ever build muscle on only 1,000 milligrams? 140 milligrams, Togi. 140. It's called Turk Builder and GO2 Max.
You can't just start blasting gear and not work out, So I'm trying to go the natty route a little bit, get my gyno out, and then once I'm dialed again, we can hop back on cycle.
And so what he's saying is you can't just blast hella gear year round. You have to go through periods of lower doses and higher doses. That's known as blast and cruise. And so what he's saying is he's going to cruise on 900 milligrams of test and blast at perhaps 2,500 milligrams. Now, to me, that's a very high dose, but what do I know? I'm 48. It's not as if I've trained my entire life or coached pros, including myself. It's not like I know as much as Mike Israetel. I mean, clearly he has way more knowledge about professional bodybuilding than Coach Greg. And I'm being sarcastic.
We have a $10,000 a month rent bill. Obviously, this month we were good. The 64 bando win just about covered that.
So step 1 is not getting ripped off by some guy wanting $10,000 a month rent. See, you need Coach Greg as a life coach. For $39,000 a year, I could be your life coach. You're thinking, that's a lot of money. You imagine how much money Togi would save by giving Coach Greg $39,000 to run his life? It'd be hundreds of thousands. It would pay off in dividends. I mean, the ROI, it would be through the roof. At least 5 to 1. There's no way I wouldn't save Togi at least 5 times his money spent on investing in Coach Greg as his life coach. Imagine Togi had Coach Greg as his life coach.
Dialed again, boom. Meal number 3 or something. A little chicken and rice.
Did he actually not see the broccoli? He said chicken and rice. I did, in fact, see broccoli.
I don't know how people do this goddamn dialed bullshit. I am so bored. I'm getting flashbacks to like the old days when I had nothing better to do.
I mean, is bro talking about No Nut November? He's made it 35 hours. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
I don't know what the fuck am I supposed to do? Look up more chicken and rice recipes, bro?
Well, Togi, you can watch Coach Greg videos. Did you in fact start reading the book Attached? Start with the book Attached. I'm not going to get you into some advanced reading, hold me tight. You need to have a baseline. Perhaps you could read 8 Rules of Love if you have some interest in this. Have a dozen other books that you could read, but why don't we start with the book Attached? Once you learn a thing or two too about your attachment style. You can then understand women, perhaps what you should say, how you should act. Then I can get you on to reading How to Become a Man, a real man, a masculine man, one of which the real baddies can respect, the ones that you would perhaps want for the rest of your life. Well, you did in fact say you wanted to be a dad, one with perhaps 60 kids. Why don't we set a realistic number? Let's start with 1, maybe up to 6 if you can find that woman of your dreams. But let's be honest, the chances is not looking good. Probably never going to happen, but let's at least give you a fighting chance if you could start by reading a book. It's all in the fingers. I'm not talking about fingering. I'm talking about how to flip a page.
I've been dialed for about 35 hours, which when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound like that long, but it was hard, guys.
Of course it's hard. No one says it's easy. Just because it's only been 35 hours doesn't mean it's easy. It's hard. Harder than last time.
I had ice cream once. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even film it because I was embarrassed about the ice cream.
Togi. It's in the cookbook. Protein ice cream. You can use the regular protein ice cream. Remember the one where you can hold it over your head, it doesn't come out on your face? There are low-calorie, protein, anabolic ice cream alternatives rather than just having pints of Haagen-Dazs, Ben & Jerry's, and so on.
I just booked a flight to Cabo. I think I maybe deserved this a little bit. You know, I worked pretty hard the last 30 hours, and I kind of deserve a week off.
And so remember, he started his chase for a pro card by taking the first day off. And everyone deserves a day off. He's now made it 35 hours, of which he's cheated with 2 pints of ice cream. And now he needs a week off. You're doing a little bit too much glazing of yourself. You can't be taking a week off every time you go 32 hours without cheating on your diet.
Work hard, play hard. That's what I like to do. That's how it's done.
And so when he says work hard, play hard, that's all fun and games. But you're doing a lot of the play hard and not a lot of the work hard. The working hard involves, let's say, at least working a week straight. Going a full week without gambling, losing money, and working harder than last time. Then you perhaps could take a week off.
My roommate Nate just got home from work, I believe. And I'm very excited to tell him, like I said, I've not told the roommates we're going to Cabo tomorrow.
And so are they in fact in a situationship? And so remember, he said it wasn't straight when you're dialed in. Is that perhaps messing with his mind? He worked for 32 hours straight. His baddie's nowhere's in sight. And he's bringing now his boys, his homies to Cabo.
I'm excited. We're gonna go tell Nate that we have made it out the mud. We no longer need to be struggling with the rent. All I have to do is set aside $10,000 from my pay, and then I can, you know.
Notice this, we don't need to struggle in the rent. I can't wait to tell him. I hate it when he's off working. I need him around me all the time. Perhaps Kobe is coping with the fact that he doesn't like the baddies, the ladies. And he's trying to convince us, I want to be a dad. I want 60 kids. Who are you trying to convince, Togi?
Well, I've got good news for us.
Okay.
We're going to Cabo. We're going to Mexico. Tomorrow.
Seriously?
Booked it all. I booked it all.
Tomorrow?
We're going tomorrow. We got the flights.
Need to pack?
Go and give him a hug. We're going to Cabo together. Yay! And remember, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Why aren't you more excited?
I don't know how much they're paying you. I don't even want to know.
What do you mean?
Remember that time that you lost $200,000?
Already his partner nag him. Hey, don't you remember when you lost $200,000? Does that not sound a little bit familiar? The nagging, it all starts with the nagging. Hey, don't you remember this? Don't you remember that? What happened to being in your feminine? Be in your feminine. Be the voice of reason, the calm, inviting voice that he needs to hear. He doesn't want to hear about the $200,000 he lost. He wants you to be in his feminine so that he can remain in his masculine.
That was the past. I'm a new man. I'm getting paid. We don't gotta go. You gotta quit your job.
But like, you still technically could gamble it all.
This is turning into perhaps a debate, dare I call an argument.
You know, I'm gonna keep the job, and another reason, I am trying to bang the front desk workers. So.
Not sure how he's going to take you trying to bang the staff. Perhaps didn't want to hear that. Let's see.
You can bang Amelia. Okay, it's not important. We're going to Cabo. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Quickly changes the subject. Going to Cabo. Now remember, I do believe that they both have an avoidance attachment style. At least Togi does. So he's not sure how to react. Hey, you do what you want. I'll do what I want. Hey, we're not no commitment. But what does he really want? Does he dare put himself out there? He's perhaps been used to rejection. When he grew up, he didn't get the love and attention that he deserved.
My read on the scenario is that he thinks I'm going to be unable to pay the rent because I'm going to gamble all my income away, which is rude.
He then speaks to us. He's like, yeah, I've thought about this. My partner in the situationship, whatever we want to call it, he doesn't think I'm going to be able to pay the rent. He looks flabbergasted. He doesn't look like he's happy about the situation he's gotten himself in. But is he going to address it? Is he going to speak to this person? Now remember, if he had read the book Hold Me Tight, he would know exactly how to handle this. But he haven't even read Attached.
We all know the rent is in my hands now because the goddamn gym is not going to be paying no bills.
And so he's saying, look, I make all the money. I'm in my masculine. I'm the provider. You just need to dress up nice and pretty and show up. And so what are you complaining about? But remember, he also wants his own independence. He wants to be a man who also works, also holds down the fort. And so Togi coping hard, trying to give the illusion that he's all about the baddies. But all I'm seeing is a man getting so inebriated that he doesn't even know where he is, doesn't know what he's doing, wakes up perhaps forgetting the last night's events. And why is that? Why do we want to get so intoxicated that we don't even remember what we've done? Are we, in fact, perhaps a little ashamed of what we may have wanted to do last night?
Well, first of all, that, and then it ended in the aftermath of me looking like this. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen this time.
I'm no eye surgeon like Mepstagram, but if I were to ask her, I'd say, does this look normal? And so when the eyes are not symmetrical, one eye looking forward, one is perhaps out to the side or one looking to the center, this is not good. I mean, I never went to med school. I haven't got 11 years of medical training. I'm not an eye surgeon. Mepstagram is, but I'm certain that she would back me up.
Shout out Shuffle, my new sponsor. Thank you for everything. Bringing me to Cabo and all that good shit so I can go on a little gambling bender because we deserve it.
And so his new sponsor, Shuffles, give him more money than last time, of which he's going to waste entirely on gambling.
So now we got bread to go to Cabo, gamble 20. I used to never have $20,000 to gamble. I didn't have $500 for my frat dues or my rent.
Just because you have $20,000 doesn't mean it's to gamble. I mean, technically you can bet all the money you've had. But remember, you just lost $200,000. It was what, maybe a month ago? And so just because somebody's giving you $20,000 doesn't mean it's technically $20,000 to gamble. Remember, there's $10,000 a month for rent. You have to pay for cars, to eat, clothing, insurances, and so on. And you should be putting in money for your retirement. And so unless you've got money like Mike Isertel or Coach Greg, you should be saving some money for your retirement.
I've not cleaned my room since last weekend when we were all drinking. And everyone, for some reason, likes to fucking hang out in my tiny room.
It's giving hoarders. I mean, look at this house. Imagine living in that place. Imagine being a girl showing up to this house. You met him at the bar. He's all suave, 6'2" and good looking, has an incredible physique. And you show up to his house, and this is what you walk into. Are you leaving? Are you running? Are you scared?
Excuse me, bro. Are you busy right now?
No hablas inglés, hablas español. Togi. And I'm not sure of the mouth languages. Is Togi practicing to be a singer?
Here we go. We have to lock in because we are down bad today. We are down about $5,000 today and we need to make it all back.
I'm telling you, locking into gamble, it doesn't help. The more you focus on how much you're going to win or lose, it doesn't make you win or lose more money. Locking in, focusing, that helps when you're about to do a set in the gym or perhaps about to put the fork down. You lock in, you're not going to do it. You go for a walk, you dial in and walk harder than last time. But it's not going to help you to win more money.
Bust me down. Bust it down. Bust it down. Bust it.
He's gonna bust!
And so notice how he's continuing to lose money for hours on end, but then he's going to highlight when he in fact wins. You gamble for perhaps 7 hours a night, 5 hours a night, and so on. And once during that week, for 5 minutes, you're going to go on a run. And you show that run and say, see how much fun gambling is? But you're not showing the 7 hours of defeat.
So, top or bottom?
Situationship revealed. They are now gambling on who's going to be a top and who's going to be on the bottom. I'm picking top. No matter what, I'm picking top.
1, 2, 3, bottom.
I don't make this shit up. They both pick bottom. They both pick bottom. And so who's the beta cuck now? Who is the beta cuck now? Togi made fun of Coach Greg. Oh, Coach Greg has a horrible physique. Would never want to look like him. Who's the bottom now, Togi? Who's the bottom now?
The Yudi curse is over, though, guys. Trust me, I'm feeling good. Like, I have never been more confident in a gambling session than Cabo.
No matter what location you gamble from, it doesn't affect the win or loss odds of the games you're playing online.
130! 130, baby. Is that 130? 130, baby!
130 big, and so 130x times what you're betting, it's a lot. It's really good, but notice, rinsed everything, 8 hours of gambling later, countless redepos. And so they keep putting in more money and they keep losing it all.
I blacked out last night. It was not good. First of all, goddamn bitch wake me up at the crack of dawn. It's 3 p.m.
And so after celebrating with his partner in the situationship, he then blacked out. Woke up the next morning, doesn't remember what happened.
Why is there a hamburger?
Because you asked me to get you food.
Whose baddie is in fact better? His baddie, he got him burger. Woke him up at 3:09. Remember, he took that photo. It didn't make him look all that good. He had the sunglasses on while gambling. She didn't stop him from the gambling. Is she in fact being a great partner? I don't know. I really don't know her. Perhaps she's amazing.
I guess I lost $10,000 last night. And the budget for the trip was $20,000.
Who took it? Did you just lose it? It just disappeared on the internet? Did you gamble it away? Did you buy someone a ring? How do you even know what happened? Did somebody take advantage of you? I mean, Togi, don't let yourself get into these situations. You need to have your wherewithals to know what's happening.
I just lost $500. That was okay.
And first thing in the morning, I just lost $500.
And the budget is $20,000 for the whole trip, and it's night one. This is fuck. You got money?
No.
And so he has $20,000 budgeted for a 1 week trip. He spent $10,000 on day one. That leaves him $10,000. And so he's going to have to slow down his spending. And what does he do? He turns to his baddie. Do you got any money? Her response is no. Of course it's a no. She's not an eye surgeon. She doesn't make hella bank. She's not contributing to this trip. She's with Togi. Togi's promising her the world. I'm Togi. I make more money than Coach Greg. Trust me, I got you covered. It's day 2, and at this rate, he's going to have no money by day 3.
We gotta pin the Milana tan, get a nice tan going, motherfuckers. Do we have swabs? Raw dogging it.
And so it's now time to inject his supplements, whether it's peptide, steroids, whatever. And remember, it says all items are props. This is a skit. And so it's not real, it's make-believe. And he's going to raw dog it. Not like I could get a bacterial infection, end up in the hospital in Mexico. I mean, who cares? After all, I'm the biggest guy in Cabo. But remember, the biggest guy in Cabo with a skin infection in the hospital, it's not a good guy. We don't like that guy. I'd rather be the second biggest guy in Cabo without the skin infection.
Oh, I don't really sleep in this shit. I'm nauseous.
So what is the use of having money, being on a yacht, having an amazing trip, if you're too hungover and feel like dog shit the entire time? You're in Cabo having an amazing time, but you decide to get drunk. You forget what happened. You rinse out $10,000 the night before. You wake up in the middle of the afternoon feeling like garbage, only to go on a yacht and not even enjoy it.
And today we're doing high stakes gambling. We bought in 15,000. Even though we lost 10 last night, that means we gotta buy in 15 to make it all back, motherfuckers. So follow me.
Togi, a masculine man, is true to his word. Perhaps instead of the book attached, you could start with 12 rules of life. Always tell the truth, or at least don't lie. And I'm talking about to yourself. Togi, it's one thing to lie to other people, but when you lie to yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you can't even keep your own word to yourself. A real man, he keeps his word. And so Togi risen up the ladies. She's what, 37, I believe? He's 22, I think. So Togi, perhaps he's going after the MILFs. And so perhaps because he doesn't have any of his own children, he's going after women who already have them.
There it is!
Look at the excitement when they see that 1000X. It happens once in a blue moon. But the excitement, the rush, the thrill, the dopamine. And so it cancels out the fact that he'd already rinsed $8,000. Remember, previously he's already lost $10,000.
13,000 bills, 13,000 bills, 13 bills. That's what I'm talking about.
And so has this situation sip turned into a three-way? The three of them all cozied up together, gambling harder than last time. And notice this is 10 a.m. They've been up all night. Let's call it a day. Let's quit while we're not as behind as we were 5 minutes ago. Because 5 minutes ago was crazy.
Everybody that sat here, all 1,000 people that sat here and watched me do that for 8 hours are the realest motherfuckers.
Those 1,000 people who wasted 8 hours of their life all night long watching Togi gamble, could they have not had better use of their time? Let's call it sleep, reading a book, or practically doing anything known to man.
This morning, call from Shizzy. He's like, "Are you okay?" From Shizzy? A call from Eubanks. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Shizzy and Alex Eubanks both calling up and checking in on Togi. Are you okay? No, he's actually not.
40 something.
40?
Yeah, 10 first night and then last night 38, right? We lost 38 last night.
And so he's so hungover he can't add, and he's actually down $48,000. The budget was you can lose 20 in a month. It's day 3. He's already down 48. Putting on a sock is cardio to Togi. I mean, what chance does he have of getting his pro card if he can't even put on a sock in under 30 seconds?
What was your name? Jenny, I'm Shane. I just thought you were gorgeous.
Togi is in the club trying to hook up with a baddie, and it's not going so well. But remember, he hasn't read any books. Coach Greg is not his life coach, and so what chance does he have? But remember, he's the biggest man in Cabo. He's 6'2", 22 years of age, good looking with money, and so how can he not have all the baddies? I mean, what is he lacking?
Your phone's broken and you have a boyfriend?
And so, shocker, her phone ends up being broken and she doesn't have a boyfriend. She's not giving your number. She's not taking your name. You simped too hard. You simped harder than last time. Just introduce yourself and talk about whatever is going on. You don't have to look like a simp to get the attention of a woman.
But at the very least, I said I wasn't going to gamble tonight. I might have to gamble a tiny little bit to make myself feel better.
And so here lies the negative self-talk. He went to the girl. He didn't come home with any bitches. Not a single one. But I thought he went there with one. Bro had a woman, he was gambling with him, entertaining him, cleaning up his messes, getting hamburgers for him. She was even taking photos for him. She was attractive. What's wrong with her?
Or should I tell them I'm rich? We'll try again. And we're trying again. Come on, people.
It doesn't have the dopamine of finding a girl. He feels bad for himself. Am I ugly? What's wrong with me? And so I know what's there for me. I'll always have the gambling.
How did they reject me, bro? I feel like I'm good at talking to girls. Am I ugly?
You will always be rejected more times than when you're going to win. But you shouldn't see it like that. When you're being rejected, it's not something negative. Just be thankful you found out sooner than last time. And so when you meet a woman, you're trying to assess interest. Does this girl seem to like me? If she's neutral or heavens forbid not interested, why even bother? You want to go for someone who at least exhibits an interest level of an 8 out of 10. Why are you trying to convince that girl to like you? Go for the ladies who already do like you. Ladies who already have a genuine sexual desire for you. Ones who are thinking, I would be lucky to be with that man. Because if you start chasing baddies who don't have any interest in you from the get-go, eventually they're going to meet someone like Coach Greg, and they're going to be infatuated. And that person is going to steal that girl away from you. Perhaps you'll never know. They'll do it in secret while they're on vacation, perhaps in Cabo. But eventually it's going to happen. And so my advice, go for girls who go for you. And so the secret is, go for people who actually like you in the first place. Talk to many of them. Say hi. Be polarizing. Be like Coach Greg. They don't have to like you, but if 1 out of 100 does, go for that one. Be your confident self and talk to the ladies. Find out which ones are interested and which ones are not. They don't all have to like you, and if they all do, it's because you're not being your genuine self. Do you think every girl out there likes Coach Greg? Of course not. But does that matter? All you need is just one.
I'm drinking Mexico water. I don't give a shit. This is sink water from the sink in Mexico. I'm drinking it.
You don't drink the sink water when you're in Mexico. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't have to study medicine to understand that this is not going to be good.
Big bang. Oh, I need to make a call. We're getting the strippers. We're getting the strippers right now.
Do you know how many strippers you can buy for $27,000 in Mexico? Togi, you need to hire Coach Greg, your life coach. You don't know what you're missing.
I just drank a shit ton of that water. Okay, wait, I'll just stop drinking it. I'll just stop drinking it.
Couldn't he have just not gambled and told the baddie next to him, let's go to bed? Let's have an early night. I want to cuddle. Or perhaps, let's watch Coach Greg and chill. Put on a nice romantic Coach Greg video with my soothing voice and get her in the mood. Put on a show that you have no intent of finishing. For example, it could be a Togi 2-hour video. And within 10 minutes, the show, you're not going to watch it. With the cuddling, one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you don't even know what the show is doing. You do that for perhaps 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then you call it a night. You go to sleepy buys.
Learn my lesson. Don't drink the water in Mexico, because you know what I did? Blacked out, totally shit myself.
Drink the water in Mexico, before you know it, you pass out and you shit yourself.
Drugs are bad for you and they will ruin relationships and your life, but I do a shit ton of them. So, you know what? What do you want me to say about it?
And so at least he realizes this. Drugs, crack, they're all bad for you. You shouldn't do them, but he does a shit ton of them. What more do you want to know?
You want to go outside, enjoy the sun, and then pick up bitches at the resort.
It's not working, Togi. Eventually, this girl is going to move on. She's not going to stay with you. You need to stop gambling. You need to have some fun with her. You need to show her a good time. And she's only going to stick to gambling all night with you for so long. She's already demonstrated that if she can tolerate you for this long, she's in it for the long haul. Toby, wake up, smell the roses, drink some coffee, and get on with your life.
So today we're going to do a bunch of wholesome fun. No more gambling, no more strip clubs, no more of that dumb bullshit.
And so he's taking a break from the strip clubs, the gambling, the drugs, and so on. He's going to do some wholesome stuff. Go to the gym, get a pump, and get back to that chase of the IPB Pro card. And so training in Cabo, day 1 on day 5, first workout in. And so time under tension is shit. He's not going close to failure. He's basically just going in and getting a pump. Just a quick workout to pretend he's actually going to the gym.
The bouncer had to make me leave because he says I'm too drunk.
And so they're extending the trip. They still haven't gotten laid, apparently. I mean, it's not looking good for these guys. You'd think they'd be able to do so. All the money, the youth, the looks, but yet still not effective.
And we're going to turn it into like $2 million. And then we split it. Lamborghinis.
Bro,
fuck the bitch.
This could be so huge for me. I can
Turk!
quit my job.
You can't solve life's problems by giving people money. Giving somebody money, it's like teaching someone to fish versus giving them fish. You need to teach them what to do. This guy, he had a job. You're trying to convince him that he can quit his job by gambling. It's not going to work. 4 hours later, all the excitement, the dopamine, the guy was just given $5,000. It's already gone.
3 days post Cabo. I've just been rotting in bed. Not done anything. Look at me. And I'll be honest, guys, I do not feel healthy.
He doesn't look healthy either. He's saying he doesn't feel healthy. Does this look like the epitome of health? This is a guy who's 22 years of age. He just had a great vacation. He should be feeling relaxed, ready to tackle the world. Remember, he took this vacation because he was working so hard, because he'd gone 32 hours dialed in. Look at the results. I mean, what's going on with his face? What is happening in his skin? What has he consumed that has led to this?
I really do not think any amount of fish oil is going to fix this one.
No, it's not the fish oil.
If you're older than 14 years old and you go in a goddamn swimming pool, disgusting. It's emasculating, really.
Yeah, bro, it's not emasculating. It's a heated pool. It's kind of like life's goals. Many people, their dream would be to have a heated pool. Not many people's dream is to go to Cabo and waste all their money gambling every night and not even getting laid.
Going into a hot tub with a bitch is cool.
Bro, my pool is the same temperature as a hot tub. It's oftentimes 97 degrees. Essentially, it's 20 hot tubs all in one.
Nothing too crazy. 5 shots of espresso, 5 shots of vanilla syrup, 6 shots of sugar-free vanilla syrup, 4 shots of caramel syrup, 4 shots of stevia.
I'll never get over bro's orders from Starbucks. I mean, I just can't understand it.
I took an IQ test. It turns out my IQ is significantly lower than the average person.
You can actually make up for your lower than average IQ with work ethic and training and putting in more work than last time.
Is that if a literal idiot like me can be, making 7 figures a year at 22 years old, again, not saying to like brag or anything.
But see, there's a big difference between making 7 figures a year and keeping it. If you waste it all on gambling, it's not really all that beneficial. And if you don't make it to 30 because you're doing too much partying, sniffing creatine, and drinking, staying up all hours of the night, then what's the use?
People are very intelligent, but they spend a lot of their time focused on their fantasy football league, on their Minecraft world, on their Fortnite 90s.
Most people are not very intelligent. Sorry, Togi. Most people are not very intelligent. That's the problem.
That's the dumbest shit ever. Watching a sports team, going to parades for that shit, spending hundreds of dollars on jerseys and tickets to games.
I mean, I would argue that being a sports fan is not as bad as abusing drugs. I would argue that being a sports fan is not as bad as being addicted to gambling. I would argue that being a sports fan is not as bad as abusing steroids.
But either way, a little Starbucks rant for you guys. Good way to get your day started.
It's funny how this guy, kind of his life reminds me of Mepstagram as far as the Starbucks goes, but aside from that, nothing else is the same. But trust me, her addiction to Starbucks is real.
So that leaves us at a net profit for the last week of gambling at $53,400.
Does anyone believe that he bet all week long and profited $53,000? That's cap. There's no way he bet for a week, all hours of the night, and managed to win that much money.
And I was gonna react to like a Greg Doucette video or something maybe, but honestly, I just don't have the energy. I'm still hungover as shit.
Well, you can react to this one. I mean, as much content as you can put out, I can double it. Togi, I got you covered. No one works harder than me, including you. Including everyone. And so you could perhaps put out a 2-hour movie once a week. I do this every day. I'm listening to you spiel about working harder than last time, about having lower levels of intelligence, but that you can work hard and put your mind to it and you can accomplish anything. I'm 48, Togi. I'm living the dream. I got my heated pool, I got my cars, I got my mansion, and unlike you, I don't waste all my money gambling. I've read my books, I understand the ladies, and so Togi, you need to listen to Coach Greg. But no, Coach Greg doesn't know what he's doing. If I ever look like that guy, I couldn't handle it. Well, Togi, let's see you lock in. And this time for longer than 32 hours. Don't forget, Togi, you should be getting my cookbook as well as Geo2 Max and Turk Builder. If you're trying to get that dream physique, that IFBB Pro Guard, it's going to help you more than you know. Code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Like this video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops and of course the cookbooks, all the HCLT supplements, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. And don't forget to become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.